Salam alaik. Greetings and salutations, Mr. Munir.
Alaikum assalam. Greetings and salutation to the wonderful people of United States of America. God bless the country of freedom and bravery and everything big.
Did you watch that Talladega Nights where he says, God bless America and no other place?
I
Kakuro.
did.
Just and no
Yes.
other country.
No other country in the world.
Oh man, America's wonderful. Yeah, we were just saying the way that our people, I mean Bosnians and many foreigners that moved to America, the way that they became successful is just through their work ethic and their habit of saving that they brought from, wherever they came from. Because spending is so easy here. And then eventually most of us fall into the trap as well. But, if you look at, man, I think I told you the story before. My father-in-law, when he went into truck driving, he was training like when you get your CDL for like I don't know 3 months or 6 months or something, you have to drive with somebody that's already a driver. So it's like a training period before you can start going off on your own. And he said he was driving with this like, I mean, at the time he was probably 60-year-old American guy, really nice guy. He said they kind of stayed in touch afterwards too, but the guy was driving a company truck all his career, and always sort of, fighting to make ends meet. Um, and then a couple years after he finished the training and finished driving with him, my father-in-law had purchased his own truck because that's what all of our people do. And he like randomly saw him somewhere. They met up or something, and the guy just could not fathom how this, immigrant was able to, within a few years of getting his CDL, go out and buy his own like 130 whatever $1,000, $100,000 truck. And then the same story happens here. I mean, with most of our people have gotten a house, most of our people have nicer cars. And oftentimes, um, it's because of that work ethic and it's because of that savings mentality. And on top of that, they've built something back in their home countries too. So it's interesting.
Yeah, man. The immigrant, a lot of those immigrant stories are either on that end amazing, or there is another side of the coin as well, where someone as well come is has an immigrant background, and it's, how do I say, not able to what differentiate, what in your opinion, what's the difference between those? If you have two types of immigrants, and then one is going to succeed and one is it's not, what is eventually the main reason for that? Is just that you work hard and you succeed, or how does that work?
I don't know that. I mean, I don't know of many stories where they don't succeed. I mean, there's many stories where they go down the wrong path. I mean, where they get involved in violence or drugs or whatever. But that's something that's on an individual level or that just depends on
Right.
other factors. I mean, upbringing, surroundings, just, I mean, kind of what you fall into. But economically, as long as you have the right work ethic, and for us and our people, I mean, they come from a very strict and very hard-working background. Now, if you come from a background where, if you come from a culture where there's not as much discipline, where there's not, as much focus put on a career and work ethic and success and education and stuff like that, I think it's different. I mean, I think that they find success in their own way, if that makes sense. But from the outside looking in, if we're talking about success from the standpoint of education and business and material stuff, if that's how success is measured in this part of the conversation, then obviously people that come from backgrounds and cultures that are aligned with that, measurement of success are going to find it more here. But people that come from more backgrounds that are just, don't put as much focus on that and maybe put more focus on other things, um, then I'm sure they find that same success morphed in those other things, if that makes sense.
Do you know what's mind-boggling to me? It's not immigrants coming in 2024 or 1990 to already set up country and they have everything in line and pretty much they have some kind of government support even though they are immigrants and whatnot. So that's not mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling to me is people coming on a ship in
Yeah,
1700 and exploring whatever Montana, Idaho, Oregon. It's just insane to me that you don't know what's in front of you. You're probably the first man. Okay, no, there were Native Americans, of course, there, but you're going into unknown. That's mind-boggling to me. There's
yeah,
no order. There's no state. It's insane, man.
it is. Yeah, it's a different ball game on that. Um, okay.
Do you think you would make it?
I don't think any of us would make it with our current mindset and thinking, but I think that the way that man works is you don't know what you're capable of until you're thrown into something, you know.
Right,
Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously it's a different ball game and they had it way harder, but now when I think about my parents or any generation coming here where you don't know the language, yeah, it's 100 times easier than the example you gave, of course. But when you think about would you make it right now if you moved to China with the full infrastructure, right? We don't have to go Wild West. We don't have to go you moving to Montana and not knowing anything. Just move to China where you don't know the tax system, you don't know the laws, you don't know, the working hours, you don't know the customs, you don't know the language. Like
right,
moves like
right.
that are crazy when you think about what people go through, yeah.
Sure, they are.
The other thing, man, and we'll move on, but I was speaking with somebody the other day that was sharing some stories from their life through the war. And it's like you're listening to someone describe the plot of an action war movie slash horror movie, and then you think that that person, just like a year later, is like put in a situation where they're in a different country and they're fighting for survival in a different way. But they just have to like put those feelings and memories and emotions and stress and trauma away. And it's just like in my head, I don't have an experience of being shot at, of being wounded, of being scared for my life as there's bullets flying all over the place. But to this person, that is a re that's a place in their head they can go to, but they just have to kind of keep it like tucked away. And now they're trying to learn English or they're trying to sign their kids up for school, and just like life goes on, man. That's trippy to me too. Like how different people have those different experiences.
Right, man. Right. Yeah, I've got. I don't know what to say except uh, I hope a possibility of that happening again is reduced to zero
Right,
to anyone.
right. Yeah, me too. Okay, let's dive in. Do you know our
Dive in.
most popular video on our YouTube channel?
Nope.
It's the next track GPS removal guide for Ford Transit with six, with 16,000 views and 61 likes with a 93% like ratio. So there's 7% of people did not like the video.
Wow.
There you go.
There
The,
you go.
the more you know.
The more you know.
So tell me about yesterday, Munir. What happened in the world of BHX?
Yesterday was Tuesday,
It
second day in a
was
week, and
all day.
all day. And our amazing dispatch booked 45 loads. Um, It was kind of yesterday was um, as we call it in terms of football or soccer, a game of two halves, completely opposite. First part of the day, um, by early afternoon, we already booked 38 loads.
We took a 38-0 lead early on.
Right, early on, and then things have slowed down drastically around 3 p.m. or something like that, and we booked 45 loads. Win ratio was 10.85, which is good, which is compared to historical win ratio good. However, looking at the load pay and the revenue generated out of 45 loads, it's been less money yesterday than it was, or less load pay, let's put it like that, than usual. Um, we have at the end of the day, we had 7 drivers that were kind of a priority for us to book,
Hmm.
uh, waiting for a bit, and we sadly did not book them yesterday, but again, today as well started good, so hopefully we'll move them as soon as possible, and we'll be in touch with them in the first hour to see if we can change anything in our approach to get them rolling as soon as possible. Others are mainly are either booked or have been on a load or have gotten available sometimes later in the day.
So
Um,
we got is it Texas, Missouri, Texas?
Texas is the hub. Yeah, there's only one driver waiting in Missouri, but he was not fully available as of today. He was available, but not bidding much,
Yeah.
and we were not bidding on him at all. And so he got fully
So
available today.
what are the hot spots that you're to the code red drivers here?
Um,
Is it
Houston, Texas. Yesterday,
it's
along with
League
the
City, I guess?
yeah, that's Houston.
Okay.
And we yesterday we had more drivers, but we managed to get them out of Houston. Only one driver that lives there and has kind of restriction around home, I think, was not booked in the end.
Yeah.
We have one driver
Oh wow.
that's been um, not fully available, as I said, in Missouri, and he's waiting for he opened up on his settings as well, so he
So
should be.
sorry for cut you off, man. Just to kind of comment on this, right? I'm looking at the guy we have in Houston, and he's got a minimum load pay set at 385, almost 400. I don't know if that's by design, but there's a lot of, I mean, I would say not half of loads from Texas are going to Texas, but there's a lot. There's probably at least 30% of loads that are coming out from Houston are going to other places in Texas. Am I off with that, or do you feel like that's a somewhat accurate statement?
Somewhat accurate statement, but in this case, we're talking about pretty much 3 cities. We're talking about Dallas, Abilene, and maybe San Antonio.
Right. Well, I mean, with that minimum load pay, which the driver set and decides on, that disqualifies him or her from, I mean, 30, 40% of loads because we're not gonna get 385 on a Houston to Dallas or a Houston to Laredo or something. And that might be by design, maybe their logic is. But then the other thing is they have a home by today as well. So that adds further restriction. See, this is, man, I'm looking at this, and this is, I don't know how long it's been in here, but they have a home radius of 300 miles, home by today, and a minimum load pay of 385. So the odds of a load that falls into within 300 miles, but minimum pay 385 nowadays is slim. It's almost non-existent, almost.
I
I
agree.
don't know how long those settings have had. I mean, is that from, let me see, how long have those been in there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point. We'll
Let
need
me
to
see.
examine it later.
Yeah.
I
But those are the things, that our dispatch team does look at, and we got to continue to get better at examining. Oftentimes, man, I don't mean I don't say this to shift blame, but oftentimes when drivers are stuck for extended periods of time, there's a reason for it. Very, very seldom does a driver get stuck somewhere for 2, 3 days, and he or she's got 100% um, normal dispatch settings. It's often some sort of a heavy restriction that leads to that. Um, so we'll continue to dig into that, and I think it'd be cool too to start sending some sort of a daily report to drivers, just with some of the most important things that would be relevant to them. This video as we're doing is a cool start as well, but that would be kind of next level.
it would be cool.
All right, man. Anything else? Any fun problems or things worth mentioning that we had yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, one of the procedures that we had for years right now, and that's we are sending those three questions when the driver is booked. Did you receive the rate sheet? Are you going to make to the pickup on time? And if you're available, if the driver is available for load after the current load, that procedure is gone since you guys have in your system ability to, when you are awarded with a load, to accept the load, see the rate sheet, then acknowledge your availability at the moment of load award. So that no longer needed. That is no longer needed. We're not sending those three questions anymore. That procedure has been with us for about 4 years, but due to automation, we're moving towards everything being in milestone, easy to do. So I guess that's gonna make your job easier as well.
Yes, that's one of those things that for a while we could have gotten rid of formally, but sometimes
Right.
you just forget to go back and clean up old procedures.
Right.
Um, we identify that one. Hey, one more thing. Vedat sent a reminder last night for drivers about the merchandise order. Everybody, you get $30 coupon, meaning that you can get a t-shirt and a hat, or you can get two t-shirts, or you can get two hats or whatever for free. So we're getting ready to place that order. We need everyone to submit and finalize there. Anyone that wants to get more than that coupon, they're able to. And also the coupon is dependent on how long you've been with us. So drivers that have been with us for less than a year get 30, more than a year get $60, and then more than 3 years, I think, get $120 coupon towards merchandise. So please go ahead and put in those orders as soon as possible. Munir, any words of wisdom, man? We need to solidify this statement. As a former religious leader of the community, we expect more from you.
Well, I'll need to start thinking deeper on that topic in order for me to produce better logic. So I don't know, guys. Everyone, life is short. If you don't stop and look around for a while and do whatever you want all the time, you would miss it. So just life is short.
Wow. Wow, amazing. Thank you.
Have a great day,
Salam
everyone.
alaikum. Bye bye.
Alaikum salam.